What up, cappers, gamblers, punters? It is Monday, October 1st, late show. As you can see, the legend Loshak is in NYC, so I will be holding down the fort on my own with the help of these great cappers that join us in the chat. Dave LA, Savage Larry, already rocking with us. Well, we've had some answers to our wild card questions. First off, the Cubs shit the bed. The Brew Crew continue their winning ways and are now Central Division champions. NL Central Division champions. So respect out to them. And the Cubs have a very tough road ahead of them. A very, very difficult road ahead of them that starts tomorrow. And we will be breaking down that game all day tomorrow. And right now, the Dodgers look like they are taking care of business. Bueller throwing a gem. That guy has it. Man, he's ready for the big time. He's ready for the big opportunities. And I need it because I went over all my numbers. I $300 on plus 210 on the Dodgers. I got 190 here on the show, but I got 210, so I need that money desperately. And we got a great group joining us. So we got Dave LA, Savage Larry, Scott Rictone. We got KG, Anna Mark, Joe Lascari, Crypto Capper, Marco Lou. And we're in business. KG saying, my bad, Jimmy, on the Giants. You were right, bro. That was one of the easiest spots I felt. And I ended up not having a very good weekend. Why don't we jump right into NFL and the Monday Nighter? So let's jump right in. First off, something we didn't do, Loshak's had a great start to the NFL season. I just suffered a bad week. Freddie, do we have the NFL records? Let's fire them up. But give me a sign that we're good, Freddie. Give me a sign that we got them. Okay, take all the time that you need, Freddie. Red Girl joining us. Hako Schofield. Eric Jones. We're good with the records. Why don't we throw them up, show everybody where we stand. I meant to be doing that all throughout the show on the early show, but I got a little caught up. Look at Loshak. Gorgeous. 9-4 up, 4.6 units. And I am 17-18 now, down 2.6 units after a very disappointing showing. Philip Galvin says, is King Rail coming on today? Yes. We will be the lead-in show for King's Court all year long. King's Court will be live in-play action at 7:30 Eastern all Monday to Friday. And we're excited to be leading into his great show. So, yes. DJ Big Boss says, bad week for me too. Yes, it was my first bad college football week, and it was pretty bad, pretty ugly. And we will get to those records and that stuff soon. But let's talk about this Monday Nighter sides. Everybody on different sides here, and the market keeps getting money on the Broncos. There are now 3s available. 3s at Bookmaker, 3s at Heritage, still 3.5s at Intertops and New Wager, but 3s are now on the board. So it's a 1.5 market move towards the big bad Broncos. I'm surprised, to be honest with you. Yes, Broncos is a tough place to play. I don't really think, to be honest with you, that it's that big of a deal that the Broncos defense saw Mahomes week 17 last year. This Chiefs team just looks like a well-oiled machine. And at 3 points, I'm pretty interested in taking the Chiefs. I think that might be the play at this point now that I'm getting 3s. And we will talk about it. But before, and Jesse Smith saying, thank you, Red Girl, for the soccer picks. 3-0 today, tailing you. Speaking of Red Girl, she has a play on the Monday Nighter. Why don't we get this show rolling with a little action from our girl, Red Girl, Low Bag Familia. Freddie, are we good for Red Girl's video? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Okay, it's going to take a second. Okay, we're going to we're not the well-oiled machine that. Whoa, here we go. Red Girl in action. Are we going to? Okay, no. All right, that's going to take a little bit of time. Raul Porwano says under 55. Broncos will look to eat the clock. They can't afford a shootout, but can you control it? That's what I'm asking. Can you control this Kansas City Chiefs incredible offense that's just rolling? We see the unders being hammered even more since the morning show. Now there's 53.5s across the board. Okay, we're going to Red Girls Monday Night Action right now.
What up? It's your girl, Red Girl. Shout out to Money Gang. Shout out to the Lowback family. Shout out to SBR. Shout out to King's Court. Hands down, y'all make sure and watch this show today. It will be live with my brother King Rail and Ski Profit. My play of the day is also dedicated to Ski Profit, which me and him are going head to head. So my pick for today is Kansas City negative with the 3. I'm gonna buy a half a point, which you don't even need to, but just to be sure, negative 135 at lolo81lines.com. Ski is on Denver money line. Kansas City, the Broncos are the worst bet in the NFL. Over their last 15, they're 2-12-1 against the spread. The Chiefs are 17-1 straight up in their last 18 games against the AFC West competition. Patrick Mahomes is now the betting favorite to win NFL MVP. The Chiefs' dominance within their division is 11-1 against the spread in their last 12 games against the AFC West team. Denver tends to be a pretty brutal destination for visiting teams, but I don't expect that to be a problem for KC. While Denver does have some compelling offensive weapons and one of the most lethal pass rushes in the league, the Ponies don't have what it takes to keep up with Andy Reid's genius and Patrick Mahomes' rocket arm. Kansas City is 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing Denver, and Denver is 0-4-1 against the spread in the last 5. So again, Kansas City negative 3 at negative 135 at lolo81lines.com. Thank you, Money Gang.
Shout out to Red Girl giving us the goods. Red Girl on the Chiefs. And Red Girl is 4-0 so far on the day, killing it. Are we good? Am my vocals all good? I don't need to be concerned. Thumbs up. We good? I'm not getting a thumbs up, but I just believe we are good. Yes, Red Girl 4-0 so far, starting out the day. Why not believe in her spot with the Chiefs? The Broncos have not showed a lot this year. You know, Keenum has not looked good. I mean, 3 touchdowns, 5 picks coming off 192 yards passing, season low at Baltimore. Now Jake Butt's gone for the year. Their offense is not giving their defense any support. The defense is on the field for too long. Yes, they have Von Miller and Chubb, but their secondary is just not nearly as strong. And they're on the field all game long. Anna Mark says, how we doing for MMA this week? I got plays for the squad. I can do an early vid so we get better lines, but don't want to mess up Pete. Yes, Anna Merrick, we need to talk. Let's talk and let's roll. Let's make that happen, Anna Merrick, because Anna Merrick coming off a huge showing at Bellator, and we'll keep you rocking, my man. So yeah, I find the Chiefs more and more appealing. I just don't believe in these Broncos, and Tyreek Hill's uncoverable. I mean, Travis Kelce, when he's needed, can be dominant. But, this offense is so dominant that Sammy Watkins running around free. I have to say that, yes, I think the Chiefs are the play. But I'm hesitant. I'm very hesitant to make the move with all this money coming in on the Broncos. I'm hesitant. But I just don't see how Case Keenum can run. I mean, we do know that this Chiefs defense is bad. But look at this offense. I mean, this offense just continues to roll. League high, 39.3 points per game. Mahomes, 13 touchdowns in his first 3 games of the season. Marco Lou saying Broncos are 2-0 at home, but those have been questionable victories. It's not like they were bringing the hammer. They were winning tight games against questionable squads. Let's see. Not applicable. Okay. Scott Richons talking about NBA preseason, like in the Knicks Pelicans over. Tomor, I'm on KC and a long field goal to be over 46.5. Nice and mile high, no doubt. Should be plenty of offense. And the 46.5 is nothing at altitude. Crypto Capper says, I can't back the Broncos offense. Domingo Hernandez says exactly what I'm thinking. -3.5 looks better, and I could get -3 right now. Anil Frank saying Broncos weren't getting points in those games. They weren't. Mohamed Joma says it's the Broncos D that sucks. Dormer says, I think KC will struggle against teams that slow the game down and run the ball. That's not Denver, though. It should be, and we're expecting Denver to move in that direction in this game. But will they be able to keep that Chiefs offense off the field? Anil Frank saying away faves 6-11 against the spread. I think this is a very appealing line right now for the Chiefs. A very appealing line. Crypto Captor says Case Keenum, not a big game player. Mohamed Joma talking about that Broncos defense says people think it's still a quality D. It's not. Their linebackers are slow, poor in coverage. Harris is their only corner. Kelsey goes off tonight. I tell you what, I'm hesitant to do this, but at 3 points, I can't help myself. I just think 3 points is too appealing. Now, I can't get that at my book yet, but it's coming because plus 3.5 for the Broncos is minus 115 and minus 3.5 for the Chiefs is minus 105. So it could get there. I just have to wait. And wait, I will do. Minus 3 at minus 125 at Bookmaker, at minus 120 at Heritage. There it is right there. 3 at minus 120 at Heritage. I'm on it. I am on it. Jesse Smith saying KC low-hanging fruit. I don't know, just because it's so early in the year, going to Mile High Stadium, a tough place to play. I don't know if it is, but I'm on it. 3 minus 120 at Heritage. Book it. Lock it in. I'm in business. All right. Kylie Reynolds says KC. Dave L.A. says, Jimmy, just wait till you get a 2.5. I'd be surprised, but we do have about an hour and 20 minutes before that happens. Buy it to 2.5. I don't need to. I'm comfortable at the 3 here. Kylie Reynolds says, just like Brewers, easy money. Tomor says, Denver defense is living off reputation from the Super Bowl. They haven't been a top unit for a long time. Harsh, but I tend to agree. Hako Schofield liking KC on the over. John Roy says, let's begin. Broncos plus 3.5. And Kaisa Kyle saying, don't do it, Jimmy. Twatty Latte saying paralysis by analysis. Where are the prop guys? Well, let's get to it. I did lock down Bill Butler's prop, and Bill Butler's been very hot at the props. Jimmy the Bag. It's from my man Bill Butler. I really like Lindsey player prop to have at least 13 carries at minus 103 or even 14 carries at plus 114. Those are both available at Bet Online. He's had 14 and 15 carries in both games. He's played full. They feed him here. I agree. I think that the Broncos will have to run the ball and run the clock. I expect that to be happening. Jared Schrader says, I'm on the over 54, Jimmy. Marco Lou says, KC usually do not start sucking till after game 7. And Twain Seymour, Tyreek Hill, over 76.5 yards passing, or receiving, excuse me. I agree with that. Jesse Smith calling KC a super lock. Bud Nino, field goals over 3.5. Hal Abraham says, you must have taken that last Monday. And Leroy Flood says, any preseason basketball picks? Yes, stay tuned to King's Court after the show. Domingo Hernandez, Denver D will be the best KC I've seen. Yes, but so good. Sasana said, Jimmy, what do you think of that prop for Mahomes? Over 2.5 at plus 100. I like it. I think they can get, Mahomes can get 3 touchdowns. Susanna sent me the props on Mahomes touchdown passing over 2.5 at plus 100, but I don't even know if they need to get it. Mahomes could easily just throw for 2 touchdown passes, and I think the Chiefs could take care of business. Savage Larry says, fellas, give this man a follow on Twitter. Savage Larry, hit me. Hit me. I want to, I'm not sure if I follow you, but hit me. And Taz Tracks not enjoying the videos that we're getting from our low baggers, which is something that Pete and I enjoy very, very much. So, you're not going to please everybody in this business. It's too bad we have not pleased Taz Tracks, but I like where we're going, and I love hearing all of our low bag fam, hearing their voices, seeing their face, and getting to hear their picks. It's something that we enjoy very, very much. Okay. Marco Lou says, is there a certain bias towards Denver because of their record at home? Yeah, there is ATOS Tracks. Yes, we hear that you don't like we hear you don't like the videos. That happens, man. We're not here to please everybody, but I tell you what, Pete and I love it very, very much, and we are huge fans of Red Girl, who is 4-0 to start the day, and we love the films and the videos that she sends to us. Jay Peach says, Bueller with a typical pitcher swing. Bueller taking care of business. Atos Tracks does not like the white guy smoking weed in his truck either. Says that's sad. Okay, I hear you, Atos Tracks. And one thing Pete and I do is we let the people who have negative things to say run free. Run free and be as negative as you want. Okay, you're on 504 for show says, what's the prop again that you took? This is not my prop. This is a Bill Butler prop. He likes the Lindsey player prop to have at least 13 carries at minus 103 or 14 carries at plus 114, available on Bet Online. And we'll hear what other props are rolling again. And that's what it is. That's what it is. Jesse Smith saying, can't please these suckers. Shout out Red Girl putting money in my pocket. Yes, shout out to Red Girl. Well, that's the Monday Nighter broken down. I have now added the Chiefs -3. I do feel like it's just too good to pass up. Tomore says Denver has a good record at home because they played bad teams. Seattle without Wagner or Wright, and Oakland. I agree with that completely. And we saw what that Seattle defense looks like after a few injuries. They were dominant all game long, and then they lose a key piece to their defense, and they were lucky to pull out that victory. The Cards just went running. And Atos Trax says, I'm giving my opinion as a long-time customer. Thank you. Absolutely, Atos Trax. You are welcome to give your opinion here, my friend. Whale Capper joining us. Jimmy, how was your weekend? It was not great, Whale Capper, and I'm excited that you've joined us. Whale Capper had the most exciting pick, I thought, on the whole card with the Broncos on the Monday Nighter. I am now against them. I couldn't help myself grabbing the Chiefs at -3. It was not a great weekend, though, for me. Whale Capper. John Roy says Sanders receiving over 76.5, Watkins receiving over 51.5, a split at worst. I like that. KG says, oh yeah, but money. Whale Capper says Chiefs too good to pass up at -3 is a good take. I thank you, Whale Capper. I thought your Broncos play was so exciting, but I just feel like it's going to be very, very difficult to slow down this Chiefs offense. And the Broncos have really shown me no sign that they're capable of it, or at least capable of doing it for a whole game. Whale Capper says, I beat the hell out of the line, but not feeling as confident right now. I hear you. You did get a great line, and great job at doing that. How did your weekend end up with all your picks? What a treat it is to have Whale Capper with us. Brian Lee says, is that the same Whale Capper from the Audible? Thought you liked Denver. He likes Denver. Just losing confidence. And that happens. That happens when you have plays. For instance, my very first pick of the week was the under in the Eagles-Titans game, and I became less and less comfortable with it all week. And then at the very last minute, made the bet just because I believed in it early in the week, and that went against me. I can completely understand how that happens. KG says, love Chiefs in the under. Whale Capper says, solid winning week for me. That is what I like to hear, Whale Capper. We cherish having you on our Thursday shows. So we'll take a quick look with NFL here right now. We'll just take a quick look at the week ahead of us. I have my next episode of The Audible tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Our Thursday nighter is the Indianapolis Colts at the New England Patriots. Patriots are double-digit favorites. There's 10s on the board. There's a 10.5 at Pinnacle. And, of course, 5 Dimes always gives you a little more worrying about teasers. So they give you 11. But, yes, New England is a double-digit favorite at home. And after what they did to the Dolphins, I wonder what people think will happen here. Wow, Yaya, 17-1 this week in NFL. Jesus. That's impressive. Is Bud Nino 87 saying, somebody please tell me why I shouldn't bet KC? Atos Tracks, we don't need your comments like that, man. We're going to lose you there. Sorry, we do not need your incredible social acumen. Okay. I am angry at SBR. You feel free to do that, but don't be. Okay, let's keep rolling right now. So let's look more at the week here. We have Baltimore at Cleveland, 2.5-point favorites is Baltimore going into Cleveland. We have Jacksonville at KC. Jacksonville +3.5 on the board. KC at home. We'll see what happens after we check that out. What goes on tonight? Tennessee at Buffalo. Buffalo 3.5-point dogs at home to a Titans team that's looked very good the last couple weeks. Mariota's back and healthy. We have the Giants at Carolina. Giants getting 7 full points at Carolina. That might be too much. Atlanta at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 3-point favorites. Denver at the Jets. A pick'em at some spots, -1. We have Green Bay at Detroit, which is also a pick'em. There's some +1s, +1.5s. Miami at Cincinnati. We have Miami as a nice sized dog. Cincinnati getting the job done and looking good. Oakland at the Chargers, Arizona at San Francisco. San Francisco, CJ Beathard. I told everybody he's not atrocious. They didn't believe me, but he is not atrocious. Minnesota at Philadelphia. Minnesota +3. We have Rams at Seattle. Seattle 7-point dogs at home against that Very, very good-looking Ram squad. Dallas at Houston is a Sunday nighter. That will be a lot of fun. Houston 3-point favorites. Houston's offense may have finally got on track. Watson may be starting to roll. And then the Monday nighter, Redskins at Saints. Saints getting a touchdown or 6.5 at some books. And that is what it is. Okay, I tried to stop Atos's stuff. I can't quite do it. Why don't I just do this? Here we go. Let me try doing that. Okay, beautiful. There we go. And we can focus again on the capping. So that is the NFL side of things. Why don't we move on to the NCAA football? So I am on the Chiefs -3. I felt that was too good to pass up. Okay. Let's roll. Sorry, I was pressing the wrong button. As you know, I've not banned anybody from a chat in a long time, and so long, 4, 5, 6 months. I don't remember the last time I did that. I didn't even remember how exactly to do it. But we are in business. Okay. Over the pants butt stuff says, stay safe. Keep your pants on, everybody. Okay, let's move on to NCAA football. It was a rough weekend for me. Very disappointing. My first real bad one, and puts me in bad shape. Do we have the NCAA football records back there? Do we get them up and rolling? Show where we are at. My record has taken a quick turn for the worse. Man. 48-51 doesn't sound so bad, but when your average line is -108, you're down 7.4 units and 6.9% ROI. It was ugly. Ugly weekend for me. Let's go over some of the plays, and I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking with this week coming up. Marco Lou says, Jimmy, do not let the power get your head. I won't, Marco Lou. And whack Prescott, Broncos +3. There we go. And Jessica Fine says, there you go, Jimmy. Jessica Fine. Thank you, Jessica Fine. Jessica Fine, you're safe, man. We let all the hating go. We let the hating go. But, when it gets racial, there's no need for it here. And we will not have patience for that. Jared Schrader says, Jimmy, how pumped are you for NHL start on Wednesday? I'm extremely pumped. I need it very badly. It's been a rough few months, and we will be breaking down futures for the Western Conference in not too long from now. So I'm very excited, Jared Schrader. Crypto Capper, 10 and 12 on Saturday, but my big 3 cash, so I came out ahead. Nice job. Let's see. Fade the Bag says, great weekend for me. Nice to hear that, Fade the Bag. Nice to have you back. Jared Schrader, a D-Tay Dogs with our first spot. Akron -4 is the first play. Well, let's take a look at what we got. We have Thursday night action, Tulsa at Houston. Money coming in on Houston, and understandably so, Houston is rolling. Then we have Georgia State at Troy. Another situation where money, but this time money is coming in on the dog. Troy opened as a 17-point favorites. They're now 15.5 on the board. And then we got some nice Friday action. Middle Tennessee looked good this week. Middle Tennessee at Marshall. Marshall is a 6.5 or 7-point favorite. Some 6s on the board. Then we have Georgia Tech. Small favorite on the road at Louisville. Louisville not looking very good. And then Utah State at BYU. Man, BYU took a lot of money from a lot of people's pockets. BYU not looking good last week. Washington sure showed them a thing or a 6 in that 35-7 win. Jessica Fine says, hey, Jimmy, we know you're a huge Square, but why do you bet Brewers-Rockies parlay? That was very simple, Jessica Fine. I get $630 if the Dodgers win today, and I would have got about $270 if the Rockies win today. So the worst-case scenario was they both lost. So a quick little $80 parlay, very small $80 parlay with 2 dogs, put me in a position where the worst-case scenario wasn't so bad. So that's what's up. That is what's up, Jessica Fine. That's why I did it. Thank you for asking. Let's see. Do we have any information on... so still looking out NFL. Kobe Valentine, I think Denver covers, but loses by 4 or 5. Still talking NFL football. Muhammad Joma said Kobe the spread -3.5, so Denver wouldn't cover if you think KC wins by 4 or 6. Yes. Aspire to a late. Syracuse beats Pitt by way more than 5. Yes, I was interested in that number too. Opened up -6 and is down to -5. So early money did come in on Pittsburgh. Very interesting. Syracuse should smash Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has not looked good the last couple weeks. I absolutely Rockies are losing. So you are losing that parlay easy. Yes, Jessica Fine, and that's what I wanted. I don't know why this is difficult for you to understand. I get $630 if the Dodgers win the game today. So yes, I want to lose that parlay and would be happy to lose $80. That works out perfectly for me. Jessica Fine. Rockies are losing, and that makes me very happy. So yes. Not applicable says, I saw Pete near a homeless shelter outside in front of a trash barrel on fire roasting weenies. Wow. I hope that's in New York City. We are hoping that he is in New York City. Brandon Cummings says, Jimmy, do you ever take in any super run lines in hockey or just regular run lines? I do. I just take the regular puck lines. I just find the empty net goal so appealing, and that's what I do. I just take -1.5. But this year, I've been hesitant to take road dogs at the -1.5, and I went over my numbers last year, and that is a mistake. I will be taking -1.5 reverse puck lines on dogs all season. And I'd like to make a move almost immediately with my first game. I would like to make a move. I'm almost ready to put in my first NHL bet. And you guys probably know what it is if you've looked at the opening night card on October 3rd. So yes, I don't regularly take -2.5 or almost ever. I just set up a situation where I get the empty net goal, and it works. Big Ragu says, Pitt, no good at all. Name your score. Didn't take a look at the schedule yet. Maybe a sandwich. Ayushia liking the Broncos +3.5. Yes, I am very interested in Syracuse 20. I think that is a nice spot. I agree. So let's see. Anything else jumping out at everybody? We got Indiana 25-point dogs at Ohio State. Boston College 4 or 4.5-point dogs at North Carolina State. LSU just -2 at Florida. LSU has looked very, very good. We have Missouri at South Carolina. LSU now ranked 5th. Maryland at Michigan. Michigan 17.5-point favorites. Tulane at Cincinnati. We got Eastern Michigan versus Western Michigan. And then Buffalo, which looked terrible at Central Michigan. Buffalo at -7 and -7.5. Let's see. Yes, riding solo and trying to manage the chat. I am doing the best that I can. And Jessica Fine, hating. We love this, Jessica Fine. You know, it's great. Having people spend all their time hating on Pete and I just makes us know that you guys think about us all day, and that's a good sign. We have no problem with that. So feel free to do your thing, Jessica Fine, and fade the bag. Wish you guys nothing but the best. So other than that, Leafs puck line at +155. Yes, Brian Lee. How can we not jump all over that? Wednesday, October 3rd. That will be my first bet of the hockey season. I'm getting +145 in my book. I'm going to make a move there very, very soon. Jared Schrader asking, whatever the total is on that Florida LSU game, take the under. LSU is just playing good football, and seems to me like they're still not getting enough respect. The totals are coming out only at a few books right now, Bookmaker and BetOnline. As always, BetOnline gives us the first lines as always, and we love that about them. The total, LSU at Florida, 44.5. 44.5. Muhammad Joma saying Cincinnati blasts the Dolphins next week. Yes. Let's just keep rolling. Jimmy just bets what he remembers last. Biggest public better. Okay, just do your thing. Just do your thing. Do your thing. Melee Palisade says, what up, Jimmy? Here at Dodger Stadium watching the Blue Crew do their thing. Ooh, Melee Palisade got a nice line. Denver +5 and under 55. Get that cake. That's been the move. That's been the move that everybody believes in right now is the under. And we've watched that total move very quickly over the last few hours. So other than that, I guess if I'm looking at exciting college football that we're going to have to be working on all week, I would say that Texas game, man, Texas hurt me bad. I thought that -7.5 was a gift. We also have Utah at Stanford. That will be an exciting game. Stanford 5-point favorites. Alabama at Arkansas. Arkansas looked pretty good last week. Iowa State, at Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma at Texas. That is a big game. Texas getting 7.5 points. That could be too many points to give Texas. They seem to fall asleep in the second half. And then at the end, we have Nebraska. Will Frost keep losing? Wisconsin, 20-point favorites. And that's that. That is the college football card that we will be be hammering more and more and more as we move forward. So that's that. Let's move forward towards NHL, and let's look at the Western Conference futures. Kylie Reynolds says, how's King Rail's video start at 6:30 when games start at 6? Well, that's a spot we've given King's Show, King's Court, because they will be doing a ton of in-play betting. So yes, they will be, follow him on Twitter because he'll tweet out the plays that they're making before the 7 o'clock game start but they'll be ahead of all of the Central Time Zone games and all the Pacific Time Zone games. So it'll all work out. Okay. Big Dave says SMU plus 24. Take it. Wow. He says Central Florida wins by 17. Wow. Gate Pass Key. No, shout out Jimmy B. Months here just in time to rock NHL with you. Gate Pass Key, welcome back. Yes, we had a nice, very nice NHL season last year. I'm very interested if we'll be able to keep that up. Pete and I were combined up 58 units last year in NHL. Okay, well, let's hit the Western Conference. So I have not made any of those Eastern Conference bets yet, but we'll quickly go over the moves we're going to make in the Eastern Conference. In the Atlantic Division, I find the Florida Panthers very, very interesting, very appealing. I will be taking their season point total over. I'm not sure about the division. I may take the division, but I will definitely take the East, and I will definitely take the Cup. I will be making those plays on the Florida Panthers. Then we have the Sabres. I feel that they're a very, very young team. I've heard so much about Casey Middlestad, but that under does seem appealing. I don't know if I will make the move there, but I will be taking the under of the Montreal Canadiens season point total. I will be taking the over 73.5 on the Detroit Red Wings. And then from the Metropolitan Division, I might take the under on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't know if I'm going to force it, but they're another year older. I do not believe in them this year. This will be the first time in 10 years I won't be taking futures on them. I will be backing the Flyers over 98.5 points. I will be taking them to win the division, the East, and the Cup. I'm very concerned if Elliott and Newvirth will be able to do the job. And that's that. I'm also I feel like the Rangers point total over 77.5 and the Penguins point total under 101.5 would be pushing it or sort of forcing it. I'm not going to necessarily do that, but I do want to take these plays home and then decide exactly how I'm going to handle things. Okay, we are now in the Western Conference. Let's start with the Central Division. Some very, very dangerous. James Ortega, that can't be true. You got to be messing with us, James Ortega. Is that true? We need to find that out. That sounds like crazy stuff that I don't want to take any time with unless it's true. Somebody backed up. Jared Trader says, yes, Jimmy, my Detroit Red Wings, baby. Yes, I believe in your Red Wings. I do not think they're going to be the worst team in the NHL. 73.5 would take you around being the worst team in the NHL. I do not think they will. Gate Pass Key says, Habs is a great under. Sens could go under 2. What a mess. You're right. Not applicable. Detroit Dark Horse that makes the playoffs. Very possible. Very, very possible. Mama Joma says, Habs going to be scrappy this year, Jimmy. A lot of cancers are out of the room. Pacioretty was a distraction and apparently an awful leader. Yes, none of us thought Patches was a good leader, but that doesn't mean that that York, I know you're a big fan of these Canadians, Mohammed. I think they're just a bad hockey team. I do not believe in Druin at all. Do you actually think Thomas Tatar is a first-line winger? I think they're in big trouble. If you get a full season on the price, maybe you come close to 80 points. I just don't see it. All right, National Predators, Central Division. Their over-under is 104.5. They're just plus 150 to win the division, plus 450 to win the West, plus 1,000 to win the Cup. They kept a very strong roster together. This team has everything: depth, toughness, scoring, defense, goaltending. All that said, where's the value on the Predators? Plus 450 to win the West is not value. The only way you maybe get value is by taking the Predators plus 1,000. I could possibly see making that move. I don't think I will make it. Winnipeg Jets also at 104.5 points. Over under. The division at plus 160. The West at plus 525. And the Cup at plus 1,100. Let's see what Tomer SA says. I got Washington at 12-1 to win the Cup. I think now that they've beaten Pitt in the playoffs and won the Cup, they get to play without extra pressure. I don't know if they are going to be better than they were last year or if they can keep it up. I think Trotz is a hell of a coach, and that's a big loss. When teams win the Cup, you have to give people raises. You have to pay people more, and it's hard to keep bringing in talent We will see. I do not believe. And Susanna's saying Shea Weber out till December. Listen, I don't think the Canadians. I think the Canadians will be the worst team in the National Hockey League. I think this year. I think they'll be worse than the Senators. Winnipeg Jets have a very, very nice top six, but Brian Little is still the second-line centerman, and Stastny's now gone down to Vegas. I just don't know if Little, Lowry, and Kopp are a strong enough group down the middle after Scheifele. Their defense is very strong. We have a not applicable says Jets win the West, Leafs win the East. Well, how will Hellebuck face coming into this season as an incumbent? He has had to fight for everything in his career. This will be the first year where he doesn't have to. It's questionable how Hellebuck will fare with this new status he finds himself in. I like the Jets to win the Cup as well, but I don't know if I'm going to make the move. I think they need more help down the middle. St. Louis Blues, 97.5, juiced to the over. To win the division, they are 8-1 plus 800. To win the West, plus 1,200. To win the Cup, plus 2,500. They fell apart late last year. The Blues fell apart. They did a lot to change that. There's new faces. Tyler Bozak, David Perron, Ryan O'Reilly, and Patrick Maroon. I love Ryan O'Reilly's skills. I love watching him win faceoffs. He seems like a strong defensive forward, but there are character issues that you just can't get past when you deal with Ryan O'Reilly. Patrick Maroon, Ryan O'Reilly, they're adding size. David Perron can score. We know that first line of Tarasenko, Shannon, Schwartz is absolutely incredible. Their defense will be anchored by Peter Angelo and Parayko. This is a good team. I'm not going to be making any futures action on them. Jared Trader saying, just can't wait to tell your NHL picks to me. And so it's one sport that I just don't know enough about. Looking forward to learning from you. And Pete, as the season goes on, yes, and we will have last year my average line was plus 128 over the season, and I know that we'll be able to do more with that. We will be able to do more. Susanna says, write this down. Left wing, Ryan Donato, going to be a huge sleeper for fantasy this year. I agree with you. He looked great in college. He's ready to roll. I agree with you. Donato could be a nice piece. Yes, I've not seen anyone either, Jay Peach. Gate Pasky says, look at that shit Domi was up to in the preseason. I really like him as a greedy player, but no leadership there from top to bottom. Yes, I do not know how Domi is going to fare, and I think it was a mistake for Chaika to get rid of him in Arizona, although they got value for him. Galchenyuk's probably worth more. Dallas Stars, 94.5. I got 5-1. 5-1 taking Dallas Stars not to make the playoffs last year. I only put $100 on it, but I got plus 500, and they did not make the playoffs. Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin will let you down. They have so much talent. Radulov does it all. Big question for the Stars is, what will Nishushkin give this team back from the KHL? I used to be a big believer in him, and he's been a letdown. Their defense is not strong. They're asking a 19-year-old Miro Heiskanen to be a top 4 defenseman. I do not believe they will get that. Jason Spezza will also give you squat nothing at this point in his career. 94.5 Dallas Stars, 94.5 with the Minnesota Wild. Juice to the over. 9-1 to win the division, 14-1 to win the West, 28-1 to win the Cup. This is an older team, but they have a lot of depth. Eric Stahl, I don't know if he's going to be capable to do it again. They have a strong defense. They're an accountable team. They seem to always be there when push comes to shove, but can't get past that hump, winning a first-round playoff series. I think they'll be right there again. I think they'll be between 6th and 8th in that conference and make the playoffs. Colorado Avalanche, I was very interested when this total came out. 86.5, I think, is low. I know it's juiced to the over, but I find that a low total. What are we going to get? An Ant Fam agreeing, saying Syracuse minus 4.5 all day, easy money versus Pitt. I agree. I'm going to need to spend a little bit more time on that game, but I think that will be a game I will be jumping all over you. Michael Uravalina joining us says, Ducks down Kessler, Eves, and Perry to start the season, and I think signing Gibson to that long-term contract will hurt. Yes, Uravalina. Michael, yes, great to have you on the show, and yes, I agree. It does feel like the Ducks are getting old very fast. Jared Trader says, I feel like Golden Knights will have a slight step back this year. That's, obviously make it. Let's talk regular season. Will they be able to win the division? That division is very, very tough. I think the Sharks took a huge step up with Carlson, but we will get to them very soon. And Fam says, my free pick for you, Syracuse minus 4.5 all day. I think that's a very, very nice play, Ant Fam. Twatty Latte is also on that. Let's talk about this Avalanche team. An incredible first line with McKinnon, Landeskog, and Rantanen, but just no forward depth whatsoever. Kerfoot Oscar Sanchez joining us. Thank you, my man. Kerfoot, Jost, and Nieto as a second line. This team just has no depth. What happens if something goes wrong with McKinnon if he gets hurt? They have a young defensive core that continues to improve. Varlamov has groin issues every year, but now they have Grubauer. Should be a suitable backup. Listen, I think this Colorado Avalanche 86.5 is kind of low. Kind of low. I'm interested in taking it. Ralph Porwano says, have to run, kids, but take KC -3 and under 55. Much love, low bag gang, and much love to you, Ralph Portwando. I find that 86.5 appealing. I'm leaning towards the under. May make a move there. The market's obviously setting that total points, total over-under to make it appealing for us to hammer. Gabe Pasquis says the Avs showing value. Start the season without any dressing room shit. Duchesne gone, and they will gel this year. And they've got defense. I agree. I think that 86.5 is very appealing, and I'm considering making that a move. Not applicable saying Vegas will beat all those teams except San Jose. Vegas is going to be good. Very good. They've got great leadership, great coaching. I believe that they will be a good team moving forward. And it's not like they lost a lot. At first we thought, how will they handle losing Neil? How will they handle losing Perron? Well, they get Pacioretty and Stastny, and that's a pretty good trade for them. Chicago Blackhawks, 86.5. Man, times have changed. Brandon Sayad for Artemi Panarin was one of the worst trades of the decade. Sayad is still young. Can he bounce back? Seabrook was a healthy scratch late last year. So who did the Blackhawks bring in to get their shit together? Who did they bring in? 39-year-old Chris Kunitz. It makes no sense to me. That Patrick Sharp signing blew up in their face, and then they signed Chris Kunitz. Sassano liking Pittsburgh plus 175 to win the Metro Division, looking juicy. I will be taking the Flyers at, I believe, plus 600 to win that division. That, to me, looks very, very juicy. Brian Watson saying, what's going on with Nylander for the Leafs? I'll tell you what's going on. He's still unsigned, restricted, but still unsigned. Ant Pham still pressing for that Syracuse play. I like it. And Ralph Porwando, last word, Sharks. Yes, you have a very dangerous, dangerous team. How many Vezinas has Burns and Carlson won in the last few years? Almost all of them. The Blackhawks are going to be a mess. But even when they're a mess, I think we'll find value taking them as a dog at home. And we may not get that right at the beginning of the year, but we will get that. And when they win games, they seem to sort of win games going away. I think we're going to get some reverse puck lines on the Blackhawks at home. I think we're going to take care of business. Tolmore saying Vegas has such a strong home advantage. I think they will continue to be a strong bet at home. They're the only professional team in Vegas that matters. Whoa, Tolmore, a little harsh on those Las Vegas Aces, who we've all fallen madly in love with. John Garcia says Vegas' biggest hidden home ice advantage. I agree. Marco Lou says, will the Blackhawks bounce back this year? I don't think so. Not applicable says Chicago to fade again this year. But I do think at home, we're going to find some times. Muhammad Joma saying, nah, Calgary finishes ahead of Vegas. I'm telling you, that is going on the wings is huge for the Flames. Smith can't play nearly as poorly as last year. I also think Calgary is going to be a very, very good hockey team. D. Bankroll said, what's good, Jimmy? What it is, D. Bankroll. Thank you for joining us. So that is the Central Division. Who am I going to make futures bets on? Maybe just the Avalanche totals for total points over. I don't find a ton of value in this division because of the strength of the Jets and the Blues. Let's keep rolling the Met. Oh, sorry, we've done the Met division. Let's keep rolling to the Pacific Division. Wow, this is a very, very good division. My goodness, are these guys looking strong. First off, we'll start with the Sharks. Over under 101.5. I think the over should be in play. The division at plus 220 and the West at plus 500 doesn't really feel like I'm getting enough value. Maybe the Cup at plus 1,000. Maybe that is the play to make. With futures bets, you want to get big crooked numbers. You just, putting yourself in a very easy hedging possibility or something of that sort. I don't find, taking a plus 220 or even a plus 500 to be enough. I think this Sharks team is going to be deadly. The addition of Erik Karlsson, come on, this power play is going to be incredible. I dream. I want to play Xbox hockey so badly just to have Brent Burns and Karlsson at the point on the power play. This team is everything. They're extremely dangerous. Be very, very careful about fading the Sharks. Maybe they should just be a blind bet at home this year on the puck line. They're going to be very, very dangerous. Dan Kelly says, just got here, been trying to fade the Vegas Knights since 2003. Is it time yet? I don't know if it is, Dan. I don't know if it is. I love Gerard Gallant. I think he's a great coach. I'm a big George McPhee fan from his days in Vancouver. I believe in this team very much. Jim Rome's a douche says Hextall loves the vets. Anthony Stolar showed promise last year as well. I'm all over your Flyers, Jim Rome's a douche. I think they're going to be. I think their front six forwards are as big and scary as any top six in the league. I don't know if there's a better top six, to be honest with you. I've always loved Couturier. I always thought, imagine what he's going to be like 10 years in the league. This team has size, toughness, skill. I just think they're going to be very, very dangerous. Jim Rome's Dude says, Jimmy, let me know when you want in on NHL and Xbox. You know I will. You know I will. My favorite game by far. Homer says, Rocky should be a good bet tomorrow with the travel. I think they will be big dogs. We will get into that heavy because that will be a night game. Moving forward, Las Vegas Golden Knights, total points, 96.5. I know a lot of guys taking this under. I do not know if I can make that play. Jim Rome Seduce said they made some shitty cuts. You know what, Jim Rome Seduce? You're an expert on this team, and I can't wait to hear your breakdowns on the Flyers. I'm high on them, so let me know when you think I should pump the brakes and slow down a bit because I will be betting them early. Now, obviously, it's impossible to expect anything. Do the Leafs have goaltending? Yeah. Frederik Andersen starts slow, but yeah, he's a quality number one, quality enough at least. Maybe not a top 10 guy, but this is a big season for him. I think he steps up. Can we expect anything near the magic the Golden Knights gave us last year? That is the big question, and probably not, but don't count them out. As I said, Stastny and Pacioretty are a big help. I'm not entirely sure what to do with the Golden Knights starting the year. I will not be making any future bets on them. Then we have the Oilers, 92.5. The brain trust in Edmonton is awful. Bad decision after bad decision. They're over under total points, 92.5. Their division plus 525. West plus 1,200. Cup plus 2,500. This team will only go as far as McDavid takes them. He might be able to take them a bit of a ways. Can Talbot bounce back? I don't think so. They did nothing to improve in the offseason. They're completely locked into these big contracts. This team, I can't believe this is what they've done with the best player in the NHL to work with, and they've screwed the bed. Draisaitl, you're giving him too much money, although I like him. I just think this team is a mess. Anaheim Ducks, 95.5. Let's see what Mohamed Joe has to say about the Leafs. Said fade Leafs in spots this year. Tons of regression coming. Their shooting percentage from last year, unsustainable. JVR loss will hurt their power play. He was their guy in front of the net and the finisher in tight. I agree. I don't think that... Dan Kelly asking what's tonight's prop. Bill Butlicker is on Lindsay. Carries over 13 and possibly over 14. That is what not applicable is on. All right, let's, look at that. Mikey D, 222444 saying that Le'Veon Bell to report week 7. I like that. Gate Pass Key said I would have fired McClellan Christmas last year. Bring on Teddy Nolan. I like that. Muhammad Joma said fade the Oilers. Sasana said the Oilers did nothing. I agree with you guys completely. Anaheim Ducks, 95.5. I'm not going to be taking any futures on this team. I feel like just like the Pens, Caps, Blackhawks, Kings, and Ducks, this feels like the old guard of the NHL. Yes, Getzlaf is still spectacular, but Perry looks washed up. Raquel and Silverberg look ready to take over. Kessler, in my opinion, is done. Young puck-moving defense does give them hope, but I'm not going to be making any futures on the Ducks. Now we get to the Kings, 94.5 point total over-under, 560 to win the division, plus 1,400 to win the West. Plus 2,800 to win the Cup. What do you do with an old team like the Kings? They're going to be a difficult team to handicap. They won the Ilya Kovalchuk sweepstakes. They'll be dangerous on the power play. That line of Kopitar, Kovalchuk, and Brown will be tough to play against, but this is an old, slow team. And I just don't trust them throughout an 82-game season. I just don't believe in them enough. I am not taking any futures bets on the Kings. And do want to pick the right time to fade them, and I don't think that will be early. I think there's going to be a ton of excitement. Carter's healthy, which they only had, for 10-plus games last year. I think maybe early we might want to back them, but I'm not making any futures bets on them. And here's a team I will be, the Calgary Flames. I will take the over 94.5. I will take them to win the division at plus 560. I will take them to win the West, possibly at plus 1,400, and I will take them to win the Cup at plus 2,800. James Neal should be a very nice fit on the line with Monahan and Goodrow. Now this should be the complete package we've been hoping they would become. Jay Peach said, did someone win like 12-0 in the NHL last year or some crazy number like that? I'd have to go back, but I believe some teams got off to a very fast start. Gate Pass Key says, Jimmy, we saw how slow the Kings were in the playoffs. They were awful. They certainly were. Mohamed Joma said, Devils fall off. Hall will not have the same kind of year, and they just don't have the depth. Minimal home ice advantage. I agree with the minimal home ice advantage, but come on. This is a very young squad. Hersher is going to be even better than last year. Yes, they won't need as much from Hall. I like them. I think that I think the Devils are going to be good, but I'm not planning on making any futures bets on them. Gate Pass Key says Flames are going to put a lot of pucks in the net this year. Susanna says, Jimmy, wow, Flames. Yes, they have depth now with the emergence of Kachuk. Their defense looks nasty. This could be a huge bounce back year for the Flames. I really like that trade they made. When Boston got rid of Dougie Hamilton, you know there was a reason why they were doing that. And I expected Calgary Flames to do the same thing within a couple years, and they did. When Noah Hannafin was drafted, I thought he could be a top 10 defenseman in this NHL. I still think he can be. I'm very concerned that the Hurricanes didn't want to keep him. Lindholm is a plus. Now they're going to have a second line that can roll. I believe in this Flames team moving forward. Mohamed Joma says Lindholm with Goodrow and Monahan going to be a great line. I think we're going to see Neil in there in that spot quite a bit as well. But I like Lindholm. I like the trade they made. Excuse me. Sorry, this is a new mic. But yes, I like the trade that they made very much. So yes, I will be making future bets on the Flames. And then we have the Canucks at 76.5. Elias Peterson looks like he will be very, very good. We're excited about our youth, but Trevor Linden did not want to be the president of this franchise for a reason. Resigning as their president. I've never trust Francesco Aquilini. I would put my life in Trevor Linden's hands. The Louis Eriksson signing was one of the worst of the last decade. I seem to be the only one in Vancouver that's fine with the Jay Beagle and Antoine Roussel signings. We need some toughness. We need to protect our young stars. I hope we're last place in the NHL. I hope that we get a number 1 pick in the draft. This Vancouver Canucks team is very young. They have a nice puck-moving defense, but this will be a long season, a very long season for the Vancouver Canucks. And the Coyotes. Somebody asked me if I thought that the over 82.5 on the Coyotes. I think the opposite. I think I'm going to take the under with the Coyotes. I think I'm going to fade this Coyotes team again. I'm not a fan of John Chaika. I don't like the team he has put together. I've been disappointed in Kaljenyuk his whole career. I don't expect that to change anytime soon. Mostly, I do not think Stepan is a number 1 center. I like their puck-moving defense a lot. I really like Antti Ranta. Marco Lewis says, Jimmy, I can hear the sudden drop in excitement in your voice once you say Vancouver Canucks. Listen, it's just sad. We're just a franchise that's just been stuck in the mud, and it's just very, very sad. Brian Watson liking the Leafs and San Jose Wednesday. Yeah, Brian Watson, I like what you're thinking. I agree. I think that's a very nice way to start off our NHL season. And we will be. I'm going to be locking in that Leafs play probably tomorrow. I want to make sure. I think that a ton of action will come in on Toronto. Jay Pete says, Susanna, my favorite time of year. Yes. Is there anything better than the NHL and NBA starting? I think not. So a recap of my Western Conference futures. I'll be making more Eastern Conference futures than Western Conference futures. I think I'm going to lay off taking the under with Pittsburgh. I think I'm going to lay off taking the over with the Rangers. I might still take them. I think they make sense. But I will be backing the Flyers. We already did the East. Sorry. Back to the Central Division. Very few moves in the Central Division. The only thing I'll be doing is I'll be taking the Avalanche over 86.5 points. And then in the Pacific Division, I will be backing those Flames. I will be backing those Flames in a big way. I probably will also take the Sharks to win the Cup, probably a plus 1,000. And I will be taking the Flames. And I might take the Coyotes under, but 82.5 is so low. Jared Trader says, got to study for my financial management exam tomorrow. Good luck, everyone. Good luck in that test, Jared Trader. Good luck. We will be sending you energy. Corey Mack, liking Chiefs 27-23. Chiefs and under. Marco Lou says, we are the new Edmonton Oilers, but without all the number 1 overall picks. Yeah, it's heartbreaking, Marco, my man. And Susanna says, like Christmas in October. Yes. Brandon Cummings says, bullshit, the start of the NFL season is better. What do you mean? Now we got NFL, NHL, and NBA. We got it all together, Brandon, but I hear you. Nothing's more exciting than NFL. But for me and for handicapping, nothing to me is more exciting than NHL. I do my best work on the ice. Well, there it is. Those are the Western Conference futures. I will be making the official plays and everything. I will be doing that tomorrow, locking them in. And that is that. So looking back at everything, here I am on the Chiefs -3, and that's it. Chiefs -3 that I got at Heritage. I'm going to wait until the last minute to make the bet. Conrado Mendoza, liking the under in Monday Night Football. Normel saying Chiefs -3.5 all day. And my man Gabe Paskey says, love the Nuggets, but it's going to be a few years with no playoffs. Hopefully they can piece together a better squad that can compete at home. Yes, I think there will be tickets available. And without further ado, it is time for our man, Lucrative Larry, who is now on a hot streak. He is on a hot streak. Do we have Lucrative Larry there? Do we have his record? Let me see that record. No, we don't. Oh, almost. Very close. We almost had the record. Now we faded to black. Oh, and now we're back to me. Okay, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Welcome to the show, Larry. Doing good work.
Good afternoon. Jimmy's. Notice that I'm wearing this mic.
Oh, you are wearing, yeah. Beautiful.
NHL is here.
I think you'll focus on this one.
Opening night of NHL season is here, eh? What about that?
Yeah, what a boot then.
Wednesday, October 3rd. I'm taking the Toronto Maple Syrup -1.5 over Montreal Beavers at +45 at Bet365. Canada, your hometown. What about that?
It's not a town, and I believe you messed up those names, but I like the bet. I like the bet overall. Oh, what's going on? Ready?
My fucking turn. Get the fuck out.
Jesus.
Get the fuck out, man.
Jesus. Okay. A lot of drama going on behind the scenes here.
Bye,
with,
Mr. Jims.
Nice to see you, Lucrative. A lot of drama going on behind the scenes with Freddie Fortune and Lucrative Larry. But yes, my man Santa says, Jimmy infected those Philly boys because those motherfuckers never touched hockey. Am I right? We make money on hockey. And Big Man and Donnie, they make money on the sports that they focus on. And but we make money in NHL, so we put a lot of our energy into it. And that's that. That's that. Let's have a very, very good start to the week. Let's have a very good start to October. Enjoy your Monday night football. And thank you from the bottom of my heart, all you guys that have joined us today. It means so much to me. With not a lot of sports, I need you guys so badly, and you do the job. Much love to you and yours. Have a great Monday night. I will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time.